They really fucked me over. Like, they really fucked me over. So now I've got the other people telling me that they want to repossess my car. And, you know, I just had to say to them, look, I'm sorry, but I don't drive a car. I drive a motherfucking army tank! Vroom, 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 jerk it up, vroom, vroom. I drive a motherfucking army tank! Vroom, 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 you loser, vroom, vroom. Get body, body, when I put it in a tiger body, fucking out that too. Don't fight, I don't wanna be one of that, body's gonna have that too.
Like the music I was doing.
They really fucked me over. Like, they really fucked me. Shout out to the devil. Hey, what the fuck you say? Hey, well, you know what I mean. Hey, what the fuck you say? Hey, running off another day. Hey, what the fuck you say? Say please. You might know my name. Hey, what the fuck you say? So much pride. Now I am one with the sun. I love the God. Sounds like a job. It's the town. You've got a hole in your lung. Hell of a job. Get from the ground. Oh, nobody had that. Oh, no. So I got a text from God. God texted me. He said he just wanted to talk. I blocked his number.
Ha! Fuck God!
What the fuck you say? Hey, well, you know what I mean. Hey, what the fuck you say? Hey, running off another day. Hey, what the fuck you say? Say please. You might know my name. Hey, what the fuck you say? No thoughts, just
This for my trees. If there isn't, this for you.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Shit. What's that sicker? Bitch go die, bitch go die. Don't waste my time, gonna die, yeah. Come on now, you die now. Mine now.
I don't know why your dumbass is on my mind. I'll never lie, bitch, yeah, right. Fuck you, such a waste of time. Yeah,
I hate you, I love you, miss you, bitch, fuck you. You should go and jump again. Miss my boo. Too much cold. Fuck you too. On my mind. Waste my time. You could die, yeah. My mind now. You die, yeah. Mine now.
Tell me why you left me here alone tonight. Leave me alone, bitch, I'm fine. You cheat on me, turn me up inside. Baby, I'm better off in this world without you. My bands are up, I'm blowing up. I'ma count this money without you. Not gonna lie, I'll think of it's you when I hear my phone ring you. Not gonna lie, every morning it's you. Every night it's always you. Not gonna lie, I'll think of it's you. I can't help it, I miss my boo. Hope you're happy with them, it's cool. Fuck that bitch and fuck you, bitch. I really need to get you on my mind. Bitch, God, I use you play, I waste my time. Bitch, you gotta die now. Bitch, gotta leave
My mind now. You die now. Mine now.
Bitch, you really should. I hope you choke on your own blood.
Blood you played me, little bitch. I hope you choke on the kitchen stick.
Bitch, you really should. I hope you choke on your own blood. You play me like a little
Bitch, I hope you choke on Satan's dick. Ha! Yeah, boy. This one can't. By you.
Got fishing rod.
Fucking goddamn it. Fucking urge.
Sometimes plans change. With the Optus Flex plan, you can scale
Fuck
your data up and
you.
down from your My Optus app.
Fucking urge. Yeah, boy. Ha!
Just put up a folk each day, a fuck a hoe. Got so much cash that
I can buy you.
Fuck hoes until they faint. Fans want me unrestrained. Hit me in my jaw, you could try to. Eating my meat in the back of the van. I'm rolling up Molly, she rolling up Zan. She want my meat, but shout out to her man. Bitch, I'm young cracker, I'll do what I can. She said I'm funny, got good sense of humor. Stick in her mind like a terminal tumor. My penis ain't ball, bitch, I'm just a late bloomer. Sons about biscuits, that's
Good
a
boy.
consumer. Now bring it back home, then I hit from the back. Dropped to her knees and she sucked on my sack. Oh my god, cracker, your dick is so big. Cover her white that she looked like a stick. No hickeys on the neck, just a TT. If her father finds out, he will beat me. Mother at the door too, just to greet me. Yes, I already saw him, bitch. And they cheesy. I just put up a folk.
Voice self-censorship. show. My neck and body, yeah.
Fuck hoes until they faint, faints want me unrestrained. Hit me in my jaw, you can try to. I just put up a foe each day and fuck a hoe. Got so much cash that I could buy.
Yeah.
Fuck hoes until they faint, faints want me unrestrained. Hit me in my jaw, you can try to. Sorry little hoe, but you gotta be quick. Swallow that pill like the nut from my dick.
Did you know every day that 100,000 men die?
I don't give a fuck, bitch, and watch a hella hentai. How the fuck young crack could do this? He can hop on and he beat and he's ruthless. I can tell any lie, I can be truthless, but shawty get so much brain she went clueless. One fuck, then I had dipping. She said my cock and not talk about chicken. She said my dip bitch is up the griffin, and she's obsessed with the life that I'm living. Sorry ho, I gotta be dipping.
Would I make a sandwich inside of the kitchen?
Hell the fuck no, if you did I'd be ripping. It's the 21st century, you respect women. I just put up a foe
Yeah.
each day and fuck a hoe. Got so much cash that I can buy.
Yeah.
Fuck hoes until they faint, faints want me unrestrained.
Rain.
Hit me in the jaw, you can try. I just put up a foe each day and fuck a hoe. Got so much cash that I can buy.
Yeah.
Fuck hoes until they faint, faints want me unrestrained. Hit me in the jaw, you can try.
Yeah, boy, this one can't. Yeah, buddy.
Yo, whoa, let's slip it to Xanax bars. I'm ready to get full. Fit the crown to wash it down. I'm downtown, snapping rules. Ain't no shame up in my game. In fact, I'm mentally deranged. Oxycontin in my system, man. I'm feeling kinda strange. Watch me choke about this dope blueberry from Texas. You wanna get up in rotation? That's too bad, cause I'm stressing. By now it's 1:30 a.m. 11 Percocet just into me. 15 minutes from this second, I'll be crawling on my knees. Laughing out of all the clouds that be surrounding me. Take another Laura tab to calm me down and let me see. Body be relaxed, muscles be loose, and you have stopped the pain. No more bitching about your day at work and driving in the rain. Put up with the fussing and discussion I played in your brain. Hypnotizing minds like all the rest, but I come through the vein. Take a chill pill and slow me down and get back in the game. Gotta be up on your P's and Q's to even feel it, man.
Oxycontin, Xanax bars. What you grab, what you want, what you need, hit me up, I got your man. What you want, what you need, hit me up, I got your man.
Oxycontin, Xanax bars, Percocets and Loratab. Now you smoking catches ecstasy and it's all up a grab. What you want, what you need, hit me up, I got your man. What you want, what you need, hit me up, I got your man. Scarecrow, what's that? You popping a powerful pill.
This is just some of the weed what I have. I got a big bag of weed next to me. Some people melt them down in a needle and shoot them up. But I pop them with Seroquel like glue. I see I'm a pill popper, so I'ma keep popping them. Give me 20 Xanax and I'ma start popping them. It ain't no stopping them. When they in my system, might not really miss them. Can you help me get them? I heard you had clicked it on that fucking pill shit. Give me some fucking head. Give me some Percocets. I need me some football so I can break down. Cause a nigga like me finna take it to fuck town.
Oxycontin, Xanax bars, Percocets and Loratab. Now you smoking catches ecstasy and it's all up
What you
a
grab,
grab.
what you want, hit me, hit me up, I got your man.
What you want,
What you need, hit me up, I got your man.
Oxycontin, Xanax bars, Percocets and Loratab. Now you smoking catches ecstasy and it's all up
What you grab, what you want, what you need, hit me up, I got your man.
What you want,
What you need, hit me up, I got your man. Yeah, boy.
Hungry Jack's new tropical.
What's up, nigga? Wanna come over in your crib?
Man, fuck you, nigga. I'll see you at work.
Don't hate me because I'm beautiful, nigga. Maybe if you got rid of that old yee-ass haircut you got, you get some bitches on your dick. Nah, better yet, maybe Tanisha will call your dog ass and she quit fucking with that brain surgeon lawyer she fucking with. Nigga.
What? Yeah, boy.
My biggest fear was I didn't want my kids to try to talk to me about what they saw. Please, God, don't let my kids talk to me about the shit that they saw. I'm a firm believer in letting information float in the air and disappear. I don't like to talk about it. Let it float in the air and disappear. I go downstairs in the kitchen. I see my son in the kitchen. My son gave me a look that said that he wanted to ask me about what he just saw. I gave him a look back that said, don't you fucking ask me about nothing that you just saw. And I knew he wasn't really going to try to ask me because he got in trouble in school earlier that week. I had to take my son's phone from him, which is the worst thing you can do to a child. Taking a kid's phone is detrimental to a child's lifestyle. As soon as I took his phone, he immediately turned into a crackhead. Instantly. Instantly. I said, give me the phone. Give me the phone. You're not getting the phone back till you get your shit together. I snatched the phone. He broke down. He said, come on, Daddy, don't do me like that. He started moving them. Don't do me like that, Daddy. He said, take my leg instead. Take my leg. What? Well, give me the goddamn phone. You're not getting the phone back till you get your shit together. When I take the phone, I say to myself, you know what? I need to go through my son's phone. I need to see what my son's been talking about on his goddamn phone. It's irresponsible on my part as a parent to not know what's on my son's phone. I go through the phone, people, I realize I don't have the code. I don't got the thumbprint, the face ID, nothing. So I got to go back to this little nigga and ask him to put the goddamn code in the phone. Put the code in the phone so I can see what you've been talking about. Straight face, my son said, nah, man, I ain't gonna do it. I said, what? Boy, put the code in the phone before I punch you in the fucking throat. That's what I said. I said that. He took off running. Like he don't live in this house. Like I'm not gonna see him at the dinner table in 10 minutes. I said, ain't nobody chasing you. Give me the code to the phone before I kick you in the back. Swear to God, from downstairs, all I heard was, fuck you! I'm gonna kill him. I'm about to kill him. I run downstairs, grab my son by the neck. I start choking the shit out of my son. What the fuck you say to me? He couldn't breathe. He said, that's the code. The code is fuck you. Oh. That's a good code, son. That's a good code. Is it Y-O-U or the letter U? How you spell it? I scratched your neck up real good. I apologize. I'm gonna get you a turtleneck so you don't have to go to school looking like that. I'm sorry.
My kid's getting older. Daughter's 13, my son is 10 now. Older they get, the more the arguments escalate.
I caught my kids cursing at each other the other day. This shit made me laugh. You're a parent,
Good night, you don't think your kids curse? You're a stupid parent. You're stupid. As soon as you walk out the house,
your kids let it fly. Fuck, mother bitch, shit, dick, pussy ass, hoe bitch.
The storms that never last. I'm looking out the window like, when's it gonna pass? I need some cash. I did the math. It keeps sending this subtraction.
Shit.
Never lasts. I'm looking out the window like, when's it gonna pass? I
get some cash. I did the math, it keeps sending this subtraction. The fate is just the laws of attraction. I've never known pause traction. Fast lane cocaine dealer, trying to ease this pain with these painkillers. I don't want my soul to be stained to obtain my wealth. I couldn't learn from his mistakes, I had to make them myself. And I ain't never been scared. The reality is frightening. My 3-year-old daughter's name came from my indictment. Like a VH1 story with a hard ending. Shit, I'm serving a life sentence, and I still got a charge pending. Seems like everywhere I go now they watching. Hiding this pain in my eyes behind my silences. Can't sleep, I'm too busy chasing dreams. And the feds send the posse down like I ain't never seen yet.
Don't you think this outlaw shit got now the name? What started out to be a joke?
I've always been crazy, but it helped me from going insane. I grew up thinking it's part of the game. Them outlaws always call me bad guys for the feds. Don't get high on your supply, your brain look like eggs in a skillet. Yeah, can you feel it? Forget it. Haters, baby, crack air, that's how I'ma get it. Fresh up out of jail, new plan, new man, but I can't seem to change who I am. I'm a hustler. I've been running for so long from them boys. I can't go to sleep without the noise. Television's on, 40 by my head. Laying on the couch while my shoulders in the bed. If I stay awake to 5, I'll probably sell another ounce. Shoes tied tight just in case I gotta bounce. Heady ties hit the gravel, how they know I'm back at it? Little girl looking at it while you in the attic. I'm high. Woof. Hey, bruh. Nah, it's serious. Alright, I'm waiting on you, bruh. But it's a beautiful view. But when you're looking around from this high over snow-capped mountains, dope boy, crimson dye. Don't give my mama black roses. I gotta go, but I'm not strong enough to hold I'm looking like it for a token. Pay a silver dollar for another crime story. But when you're looking down from this high, and I just made it to the clouds, and it'll be a while before I hit the ground. Let's go. And taking freedom from me now would be like taking water from the Nile. Cause the river still flows from a story that a damn couldn't hold. Alright, Grandpa, it's your turn.
Don't you think this outlaw shit got now the name? What started out to be a joke? Oh, don't understand. One, two.
Next. Next. Yep, this one definitely. wonder. This is how I feel, so I wonder, will they
When
remember
they put you
me?
in the chain gang, they forget you. When they put you in a damn gang, they forget you. Put your face up on a white tee. Explain to me how that's respect to me. I want a statue like the Liberty, and I can care less if you fuck with me. The only thing that matters to me is if my kids remember me. When they put you in the chain gang, they forget you. When they put you in a damn grave, they forget you. Put your face up on a white tee. Explain to me how that's respect to me. I want a statue like the Liberty, and I can care less if you fuck with me. The only thing that matters to me is if my kids remember me. Nobody's your friend, nobody's got your back. I cut all them fakes off and I ain't looking back. I swear to God, these niggas is some lazy bro. Can't even buy your own bird. You should be speechless. This shit is not direct, this shit right here for everybody. My family turned their back on me, I trust nobody. So ask yourself a question, do you think I fuck with you? Fuck your weed, fool, I don't wanna smoke with you. I'm always sitting in a room thinking about who's real. Who's really got your back, who's really ready to kill? I came to a conclusion, everybody fake. They swear on their mama and lie to your face. When they put you in a chain gang, they forget you. When they put you in a damn grave, they forget you. Put your face up on a white tee. Explain to me how that's respect to me. I want a statue like the Liberty, and I can care less if you fuck with me. The only thing that matters to me is if my kids remember me. What would you do if you was in my position? Who would you trust? Loyalty is a must. All my friends keep dying. Both of my brothers in the prison. Goddamn. My mama always crying. Cause I'm the only one left. So if the feds take me in, it's 100 on the head. I swear to God. Tell me if you know about pain. Tell me if you know about struggle. Tell me if you know about cancer in your mama's throat. Look, Wally, tell me. This shit right here is serious. I swear, and if you fuck with my squad, I get furious. When they put you in the chain gang, they forget you. When they put you in a damn grave, they forget you. Put your face up on a white tee. Explain to me how that's respect to me. I want a statue like the Liberty, and I can care less if you fuck with me. The only thing that matters to me is if my kids remember me. When they put you in the chain gang.
Next.
To rewind and try again.
Next. 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 Next.
Bro, don't you know car wash? Hell yeah, look at Bro.
When I pull up in the wind, they be saying goddamn. When I hop up on my shawty, they be saying goddamn. They never show me love, now they see I got bands, now they saying goddamn. When I pull up in the wind, they be saying goddamn. When I hop up on my shawty, they be saying goddamn. They never show me love, now they see I got bands, now they saying goddamn. Goddamn. They hating, I guess I feel like Roddy Rich, cause I've been ballin' every season. I got them 24s with 14 inches wide. Hop up in my rack and catch a vibe.
Yeah, boy.
250 room, girl, you looking like a star. I can take you to the moon. They never show me love till they seen I got fans. I'm the man, got 'em asking what's the plan when I pull up. When I pull up in the wind, they be saying goddamn. When I hop up on my shawty, they be saying goddamn. They never show me love, now they see I got fans, now they saying goddamn. When I pull up in the wind, they be saying goddamn. When I hop up on my shawty, they be saying goddamn. They never show me love, now they see I got fans, now they saying goddamn. Goddamn. They ain't never show me love. Now when I step out, it's all fake kisses and hugs.
Simpsons as one of the most famous cartoon families, but the show is also widely known for its strange history with predicting the future. From predicting the outcome of the 2016 election all the way to predicting the storming of Capitol Hill and everything in between. That's what I'll be covering on today's Top 10 list. Starting off this countdown, we have Trump's presidency. I swear, this is the prediction that started it all. Back in 2000, The Simpsons aired an episode titled Bart to the Future. Basically, in this episode, Bart gets a glimpse into what the future is gonna be like. In the episode, we see that Lisa Simpson is the president and is attempting to rebuild the economy after President Trump has left the office. In the episode, during a cabinet meeting, we see Lisa in the Oval Office as she talks about the aftermath of President Trump's reign. She actually uses the words, President Trump. And then fast forward a couple of years later, Trump indeed became president. Now this shocked a lot of people because how did they predict his presidency 16 years before it actually happened? Like, that's just too freaky. Coming in at number 9, we have the economic prediction. And if you guys are liking this video so far, then make sure to give it a big thumbs up because you know what? It really helps us out. In the same episode, in the same scene I was just talking about, we see what happens after Trump leaves office. While in the show, Lisa ends up being his successor, which obviously is not going to happen in real life because she's not real. We do see something that Lisa has to deal with that might be similar to what Joe Biden will have to deal with. In the episode, after being voted the next president, Lisa mentions how she will be taking office in a time where the economy is really, really struggling. And you know what? The pandemic has had an unprecedented economy, but has truly impacted our global economy as well. It's kind of crazy how they not only predicted the fact that President Trump would win the election, but also just more detail about him leaving office. I honestly would love to take a peek at the crystal ball that the writers seem to have. Coming in at number 8, we have the election results. Back in 2012, it said that The Simpsons managed to predict the exact outcome of the 2020 election results. This one is fairly creepy. So the prediction takes place in a Fox special called Mr. Burns Endorses Romney, and it was for the 2012 presidential election. It's only 1 minute and 50 seconds long, but in it we see Mr. Burns in front of a map, showing the red and blue states for the election. What's freaky is that they look very similar to the 2020 Biden and Trump electoral map. I mean, at first glance, it looks identical, meaning The Simpsons somehow predicted the outcome of each and every every state. Upon closer inspection, they did get one thing wrong, which was Arizona. The show had it as a red state, but in reality it was blue. So, how did they manage to pretty much get the exact election results? Keep in mind, the episode is 8 years old. Coming in at number 7, we have Trump's death. This image of an animated President Trump in a coffin has circulated the internet many times, especially in the last 4 years. In 2020, the image gained much more popularity after President Trump, as well as his wife, were tested positive for the coronavirus. Then people began to speculate that The Simpsons predicted President Trump passing away. Last year, there was a TikTok that went viral telling people that on the 27th of August, something big was going to happen. More and more people began to run with this trend, and soon everyone was talking about what was going to happen on the 27th of August. And it ended up getting linked to this image from The Simpsons. People were saying that the episode had predicted his death and that it would occur on that date. Well, obviously, that didn't happen. As it turns out, the picture was actually fake. While most people assumed it was a still taken from an episode, this actually never happened once throughout the series. But who knows? Maybe in the future, The Simpsons will come out with an episode that will have that. Who knows? And at number 6, we have the Civil War. With the events that took place on January 6th at Capitol Hill, the hashtag Civil War is trending on Twitter. A lot of people are scared that a war will break out once Joe Biden takes Trump's spot as president. Let's hope that's not the case. But people quickly turn to The Simpsons to see how this might pan out. You know, because they're psychic. In particular, let's look at the Treehouse of Horror Halloween special. In this special, which aired on November 1st, 2020, it starts with Homer having to vote for either Putin or Trump in the election. Fast forward, the episode cuts to a scene that says January 20th, 2021, Inauguration Day. And it's basically the apocalypse. Homer is on his roof wearing pots and pans as armor. Typical Homer. While his town is destroyed and on fire. Obviously, inauguration hasn't happened yet, but people are fearful that when it does, a civil war will happen, and that this Simpsons prediction will come true. We are now at our 5th and halfway mark with the statue stealing. Now, there are 2 instances of statue stealing that I want to talk about that may have foreshadowed that photo that I'm sure you guys have all seen of one of the rioters carrying the podium around after he stormed Capitol Hill. The first time is in an episode called The Telltale Head, where we see Bart steal the head of the Jebediah Springfield statue. The second instance is from season 11, episode 12, called The Mansion Family. In this episode, as the family is leaving an award show after Homer didn't win an award, we see him attempting to drag a much larger version of the award statue out of the venue with him. He explains to the family what a great night it was for everyone, before Marge quickly lets him know that the statue is not an award, but actually is set decoration. While this isn't an exact prediction of the events that we saw at Capitol Hill, that guy carrying the podium probably could have just used some of Marge's advice. And when you compare the images side by side, it does look a little freaky. In our 4th spot, we have Ivanka 2028. In the season 28 Halloween episode of The Simpsons, right at the beginning, we see the family dressed up in costumes as they are trick-or-treating. Homer is dressed as Bender from Futurama, which is a hilarious crossover joke, but that's not why we're here. At one point, Homer opens up the front part of his costume to reveal that he's wearing an Ivanka 2028 pin. Now, it's only 2021, so we don't know if she's gonna run in 2028. Who knows? Okay, it's The Simpsons. It could happen. Moving on to number 3, we have the rioter. On January 6th of 2021, an angry mob of President Trump's supporters stormed Capitol Hill. As you've probably heard, there were thousands of rioters that showed up to cause violence, and you get the gist. They began smashing windows and vandalizing the building, and the rioters ended up getting into the Senate chamber, where prior the election results were being certified. Many were seen waving Trump 2020 flags or wearing Keep America Great memorabilia. After this happened, an image started circulating on Twitter of what happens to be groundskeeper Willie, wearing an outrageous outfit with tattoos and face paint on his body. In fact, it was the same outfit that a rioter named Jake Angeli was wearing as he stormed Capitol Hill. Both Willie and Jake were seen wearing a fur hat with horns sticking out. They had face paint on their face in the colors of the American flag, and they have the same tattoos. This freaked everyone out. Like, how could The Simpsons predict this down to every last detail? Now, it turns out that this prediction is false. It had been photoshopped on purpose to look like the rioter. But The Simpsons may have still predicted the riots. Which takes me to my next point. And at number 2, we have the riots. So let's continue on with the recent riot that happened at Capitol Hill. What's creepy is the fact that The Simpsons might have predicted this in a number of different episodes. One of the times was during an episode titled Beyond Blunderdome, which was released in 1999. This episode features Mel Gibson and is meant to be a parody of the film Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. In this episode, Mel's character starts shooting at congressmen and causes hell on the Senate floor. It ends with him blowing up the building. Thankfully, that did not happen, but people think that this episode foreshadows what is yet to come. And in our number 1 spot, we have the storming of Capitol Hill. Again, another very scary prediction about Capitol Hill. For this, let's take a look at the 1996 episode titled The Day the Violence Died. This episode was meant to be a parody of the 1976 Schoolhouse Rock segment, I'm Just a Bill. The Simpsons version was I'm an amendment to be. In the episode, when the amendment is ratified, the character then says, "Doors open, boys," to which a ton of other amendment or bill-looking characters start storming up the steps of the Capitol Hill building. They're holding a bunch of weapons to defend themselves. Some have been making the comparison that this is what the actual scene at the Capitol building looked like on January 6th. It's pretty creepy. Alright guys, let's move right along to our comment shout-out portion. I'll be shouting out.
The biggest Papa watching. Papa watching. Be kind, but I won't stop until that boy is mine. Baby, you'll be famous, chase it down until you love me. Papa, paparazzi.
I think you should know that I see other people and they see me looking bad. Baby, don't you break my heart, I told you that it's really bad. I'ma make it bad, singing about that with the gas. Don't let your past pass, I'm gonna make you fall like your ass. Singing up a flash bad.
Ready to end. Y'all motherfuckers do it for the hell of it. Take care like that, you lie. If I put them side by side, you die. Take care like that, you lie. If I put them side by side, you
Die.
take care like that, you lie. If I put them side by side,
Side by side. The biggest fan of all. Let's see. Papa watching. I'll be kind. Till that boy is mine.
Baby, you'll be famous, chase it down until you
Love me.
Papa, paparazzi. Connected to my encounter with the deep web.
God damn, this dude is stupid as what it is, guys. It's your boy blastphamoushd. And it's been a while since I've decided to ruin my own life by listening to creepypasta stories. If you can see see the reflection on the television in the background. As you can see, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. You know, because that's the best time for me to watch scary shit because it gives me a long amount of time to get it out of my fucking brain before I have to sleep in a dark room. I'm not even joking that I'm really scared of scary shit. A lot of you guys have been trying to get me to listen to for the longest goddamn time. You know something that's really funny? If you can hear my cat meowing in the background, that's happening. When I'm not watching scary shit, that's a cat meowing in the background. But when I am about to watch scary shit, it's that pale white little boy from The Grudge that's meowing. So it's probably best to get this over with. I don't know what any of these stories are even remotely about, but I can tell you one thing. The picture that's on screen right now, if it speaks to what the video is going to be like, probably going to get myself in my seat if I hadn't emptied myself out about a half an hour earlier. Let go!
What kind of joint?
This is never a good idea. But, you know, when's that ever stopped me?
I was home alone one night and decided to browse the deep web. For those of you that don't know, the deep web is a place that you should never visit unless you have the stomach for it. It was the darker side of the web that contains just about every vile thing about humanity that you can imagine. However, unless you have these things called bitcoins, you can't access the darker stuff. But if you find the right sites and have the patience...
Now, this is probably going to work against me, but I like this guy's production value. He puts the scary music in the background. Just please, God, don't have any added sound effects. I've watched a creepypasta before and someone had creepy sound effects of a jump scare. I damn near fell off my chair, took my whole computer with me. It was terrifying.
You may be able to get the bitcoins for free. Anyway, I got curious on this night and thought my mom won't be home for a while. One peek can't hurt.
They all
I heard
say.
about the deep web stories. They also think that for those who don't know how to access the deep web, you can download a browser called Tor that allows you to browse more anonymously than incognito on Google. So I downloaded Tor and got to work. I came across a link called Gateway to the Shadow Web.